Hello, it's me again. Hello, it's Anissa. I'm out for a run, but it's really because I did 10K the other day. My knees are saying it's more of a walk run. And subject today. Well, the subject today is volunteering. I thought I was done being a volunteer. My kids were in Cadets, Girl Guides, elementary school, schools of choice, where you were expected to put up a little bit more, but your kids got a lot more. And for, I think, the last 12 years, probably missed a year or two in there, I have been volunteering for Saccomaniacs. Steve Saccomano, his family. It's an event we put on every year. We take up, pre-COVID, we would take up 2 full golf courses and sometimes make some very, very significant amount of money for autism. A lot of money donated from the agricultural industry in British Columbia as well. Amazing meals, amazing people, and so much fun as well when you've got 300 people in a room bidding on some epic items for a really good cause. It changes lives. It's really good. Often in Sea Cadets and Girl Guides, more Sea Cadets, there would just be a few parents that would showed up to make sure the kids got all the stuff on the weekends, flipping burgers. We had a food truck, things like that. And when my son was 16, we spent a whole summer, because what do you do with a 16-year-old boy, volunteering at, I just found every volunteer gig, every manly volunteer gig as a single mom. So we did Tough Mudder, we did the Cloverdale Rodeo, we did the BC Summer Games in British Columbia, Canada, and a bunch of other stuff, all the little things too, just around our town. And Tough Mudder was up here in Whistler, so we got to drive gators around and have a lot of fun. And he was 16, so he'd just go off and hang with the men. It was good. And now I find that though my kids do not have autism, someone in our family might and needs an assessment. And just like when we had a family member in Children's Hospital, even though my kids have never needed it, I have always bought those little gold hearts at the grocery store. And I felt so glad that Children's Hospital could take care of his cancer and just fight that tumor. Having a cancer at 3 years old, I did not know that you could cut into a child that much and do that much to a body and have it be so resilient and amazing and live. So grateful to that. And for all the little bits of money that I handed over, all the little gold hearts that I have bought over the years, the $10 here, $10 there, it all adds up. But want to say, the volunteering and the money's great, but more importantly, it's the deep connections that you build when you volunteer on a consistent basis. And maybe you only see those people once a year or once a week, or depending on what you're supporting. But you build amazing relationships because you have something in common. And you're moving something forward with a common passion and a common goal, and you're doing it every year, and you build these amazing relationships. And you're giving. And then when you need to receive and get some help, guess what? It'll be there. So as much as I talk about having a strong body, strong mindset, strong bunch of money in the bank from your business, you need to include in that your amazing relationships that you're going to build over years. You got to get to give. It's like the lady who started at a new church, and she goes up to the pastor and she says, I haven't got to know anybody. I don't feel welcome here. He's like, well, where have you volunteered? Who have you gone and helped out? What have you done to help other people? And she was quiet, and she had not. And if you're feeling lonely right now, something I always told my kids, if you're feeling depressed, is you go help somebody else. And sometimes by helping someone else and not thinking about yourself for a few minutes, because I know I had lots of weekends without my kids and it was really, really hard, which is how I actually started volunteering. Was I could go on a blind date or I could go volunteer. And often volunteering, you meet really amazing people. Either way, you learn, you grow about yourself. So there's lots of organizations that are going to have a lot of work to do to come back from COVID because they haven't been able to do the same kind of fundraising that really rattles people's change purse. So find something to volunteer for, find a cause to support. You don't have to, and here's the thing. I always hear people, I don't have any money to donate to anybody. I haven't got anything. Guess what you do? You have you. You have you to offer and you to help other people out. And in return, when you need lifting up, it'll happen. It's part of the magic of the world. It's given you shall receive. It's kind of a rule. We just don't get to choose what path we receive back on, and we don't get to choose sometimes how it happens. We definitely don't always get to choose when we have a need. So I was so grateful to send an email out to the people that I volunteered with for the last 10 to 15 years. And more because it was fun, I have to be honest. I got to share my gifts. I got to decorate and just take over managing a conference hall full and getting to decorate it for 300 people, or just making sure that gift baskets and the things like that got done, because it was fun and it kept me busy on weekends. But also I knew I was doing it for a good reason and a good cause, and I knew it was helping out people that I know, like, and trust and love. And now that I have a family member who needs support, you know, and I was really teetering whether to go and volunteer this year because I've already taken off all of June, and it's not usually till August, and it's usually 1 or 2 days. And I was teetering and I just had to send a note to Steve Saccomaniacs and say, okay, cowgirl up. I did not realize that it's a 2-year wait still just to get an assessment for autism. I mean, that is just nuts. 2 years assessment. And the key part that you might not know is that when those kids get assessed, the government has about $20,000 sometimes in support for their schools. So these assessments are really important. They're holding up money, they're holding up help for schools, they're holding up support for teachers, they're holding up support for parents, it's holding up support for the kids. So I'll be volunteering this summer again at Saccomaniacs at the golf tournament in BC. I actually have been ignoring the emails, Dawn. Haven't been watching them because it's just been an overwhelming past year and a half. But it's time to get back into those good habits of helping others. Get out of our own way, because when we help others, it assists the magic to happen. So I challenge you to find something to do to help someone else out, and so that when you really need support, or maybe you need to go volunteer, because you'll find other people who are going to offer you the support you need right now. Find something that you feel passionate about. Find something you love. It's not hard. There's lots of one of the greatest places to start is your local library. So there you go. I challenge you to go check in at your local library, find out who needs what groups are going on. It's a good place to start if you don't know. I always say whenever you move to a new town, go to the library. I always say when you travel, it's one of my regrets, is go to a library, because you'll find out what's actually going on. Anyway, bye from Whistler. Have an amazing day and take care of yourself.